And now for something completely different.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cinematic Relief. I'm Thunder.
And I'm Lightning.
Today, I don't even wanna, man. It was so,
You loved it.
it was great. Today we're talking about The Room,
Yep.
the
There it
Tommy
is.
Wiseau movie, not to be confused with the probably successful horror film called The Room that came out in 2015. Talking about the Tommy Wiseau's The Room, which, as far as I could tell, was filmed on the set of Full House, but we'll get into that later.
So you haven't seen The Disaster Artist yet.
No, I have not.
That is something
You have though, yes?
Yeah, I
That's
have,
something we
and-
could watch for this.
for this right now?
Yeah, for this podcast. Not
Oh,
this
yeah.
episode. This podcast.
Yeah,
we could do
yeah,
another
yeah.
episode on the Disaster Artist.
I say we do that sooner than later, just
Okay.
because The Room is still burnt into your mind.
I don't think it's gonna go anywhere
Um
up in there
so I'm going to cut right to the very end.
of the movie.
After the credits.
Oh, okay.
In real life, when we were sitting here
Oh, I forgot about this.
and I said, "What did you think?" And you said, "Chris, get the fuck out of my house. I'm so devastated." Was your initial response to The Room. That was your
That
on-the-spot gut reaction to The Room.
That is what I said. I think you asked me how I liked it, and I just sort of like for a couple of seconds, and then I was like, "Get out of my house." So actually, and if I can bring it all the way back to before we started watching this, we found this movie.
Oh, yeah.
In,
You want
like-
to talk about that.
We found this movie
Jeez.
on a, let's just say, a less than legal site, and it was in a great quality.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like DVD or Blu-ray quality, actually. And then halfway through, this site was just like, you got to pay us now. And we were like, well, fuck. So we
Like
went
40
to,
minutes in.
yeah, it was, I think exactly, it must have been exactly half, right?
Mm.
They were like, you're free. And that's the thing. Like, if they said you only get to watch for free for this many minutes, I would have gone to another site, but they never said that.
Right.
But like clearly it was intentional. So we went to YouTube, and YouTube had a version that was like, it was called like Mostly Clean,
Mm.
and there was basically no swearing and no nudity, which, hey, by the way, everyone who all you do all day long is say everyone should watch The Room, maybe mention that there's nudity in it,
A ton.
because like
Like
some-
6 sex scenes.
like 6 sex scenes, because some people don't like nudity. I didn't mind, but just putting that out there.
Also,
But
it made some scenes unintentionally funny.
the
like-
censoring.
Yeah, like
Oh yeah,
when-
because whoever censored this didn't put like a mosaic over the private parts. He just blurred the whole screen.
Yeah. And when Tommy at the end, when he's just reflecting the blurred images we just didn't see.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's right. He's flashing back to different parts of the movies, and some of them are just blurred entirely. Oh, I have so much. It's all coming back to me.
Yeah,
I have
no,
so much
lay it
to
on me.
say about this film.
All I got was kicked out of your house. That's all I know about your thoughts of this movie.
Okay, so okay, so even though the movie is written and directed and produced and completely funded and starring Tommy Wiseau,
Yes.
I feel like an argument could be made that the Lisa character is actually the main character. Because she's
Okay,
in
I
every
could see
scene.
that,
She's in way
yeah.
more scenes than him. She's in practically every scene, and
Yeah.
the whole story revolves around whatever she's doing. I think another argument can be made that Lisa is actually a psychopath,
Oh, easily.
a schizophrenic psychopath. Because
Easily.
like I get, now that I've consumed all of The Room, right, and I've
Mhm.
seen it start to finish, I can see the threads. I know what Tommy Wiseau was going for in his writing. I know the kind of story he was trying to make,
Yeah.
but hot shit, does it not work? And it like, what was I gonna say? It like, just the actions that she takes in the order she takes them
Mm-hmm.
are like completely bonkers. He comes home with a dress. She's like, I'm gonna go put it on. Takes it off immediately so they can fuck.
But before that, their 27, 13
Oh, I don't even want to talk about him yet.
Denny? Okay.
I don't even
we'll
want to
get
talk
into
about Denny
later.
yet. We'll talk about him later. That fucking weirdo. And then the next scene is the next day, I guess, and she's like, "I hate him. I don't want to be with him
He
anymore."
loves me. He takes care of me. He gives me money. He sucks.
And then the next scene is her calling up the friend, right? And then the friend comes over, and for like 5.5 whole minutes, this friend is successfully like conveying the info to her and to me, the viewer, that no, he in fact does not want to have sex with her. Here's all the reasons he doesn't want to have sex with her. He's not going to have sex with her, and then he does. No words are spoken. She just starts kissing him, and then it leads to a sex scene. Arguably, like, this guy's more crazy than she is in fiction.
Well, John brought up an interesting point, his own little fan theory. She has a superpower.
Okay.
And her superpower is she can make anybody do whatever she wants at any time. There's one point in this movie, I didn't realize this till he pointed it out to me. There's one point in the movie where she makes a whole party of people go out onto the balcony.
Yeah.
Then 5 minutes later says, "All right, everybody, let's go back in the house," and nobody questions it once.
Right.
If I was there, and I actually said this to him, like if he and I were at this party and we went out on the porch, like we went with it the first time,
Right.
and we're having fun out on the porch, and she was like, "All right, everybody inside," I think I'd be like, "No, I just got outside. I'm gonna hang
Or
out
at
outside for a
least
minute."
You'd make a stink about like, "Oh, really? We have to go back in already?" Okay.
Well,
whatever.
no. She never says everybody out. She's like, "Come on, guys, let's all go hang outside."
Right.
And then again, she's like, "All right, guys, let's all go chill in the house." And it's like, I don't want to. At least one person would be like, "Nah, I'm good right here for now."
Yeah. Not even thinking like, not even considering like maybe it's an old person who's like, "I just sat down. You brought me outside and I've just sat down.
Right.
I'm not getting back up for at least 40 minutes."
There's one line, speaking of old people in this movie, that gets me every single time.
Yeah.
How it's delivered,
Yeah. Is it the cancer?
yes.
See, I didn't.
I got the test results back. I definitely have breast cancer. That doesn't get you? You don't think that maybe the
got me-
delivery could have been a little
got
better?
me. It got me when you said it, but like, in
That's
the
how she says it.
No, I know. And you saying it back, I'm laughing at it. But in the moment, I was just like, I was unfazed. I was just like, this is just as shitty as the rest of the acting on display in
Okay.
this film. So
But
I was sort of unfazed. But I think if I saw that out of context, I'd be like, what the fuck?
And it never gets brought up again.
No, that's the other thing. It never gets brought up ever again.
Yeah.
Um,
I want a room 2.
why?
But
Don't
it'll
say
never
that.
but it'll never happen. And here's why. Spoiler alert, Tommy Wiseau's character dies at the end of this film.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he can make a film that he doesn't star in.
Yeah. You're. It's just so like. You're supposed to sympathize with the Johnny character, right?
Yeah.
He's being mistreated, and he is, but
Mhm.
like he's not being mistreated in the way the movie I think wants me to see that he is. He started dating a succubus, and she did her succubus thing, and worked her magic or superpowers or whatever on friend dude, and now they're together, and it's just like, this guy, you're supposed to be like, this guy was wronged, and he was wronged so hard that he killed himself. But on the surface level, it's just like, people don't act
No.
like this.
No.
Lisa and Mark, but Mark more so towards the end when he's like finally like, fuck that other guy.
Yeah.
And I said it a bunch of times, and I wanna try and like really like make people understand what I'm trying to say. They talk like babies. They talk like infants. Like everything out of Lisa's mouth when she's talking to her mother or her friend is like, I don't like him anymore. I don't want to be with him. He didn't get the job, and he hit me. And the way she says, and he hit me the first time, we're supposed to be like, no, he didn't. You're lying. But like, she says it so casually that she might actually be a psychopath. She
Yeah.
literally just like, and he hit me. Like, if that was any other movie, she'd be like, and he hit me. And it'd be like clear, like, no, she's lying.
Right.
This person has no reason not to believe her, but she's lying. But she was just like, and he hit. She was just like listing a bunch of things, like without taking a breath. It was just like, he did this, he didn't get the promotion, he did this, and he hit me. And it's like, he didn't.
I mean, that could be all summed up simply with Tommy Wiseau wrote this movie
Mm-hmm.
in all the parts, in all the lines.
Yeah. But he didn't write her acting.
No, he didn't write her acting, but he did direct it. He did direct her acting.
True. You think there's a version of some of these scenes where the acting is better, but Tommy Wiseau was just like, no, make it worse.
I think we see, for the first time in cinema history, how important the director role is. Because I think he gives them no, motivation. He gives them no, just go in there, here's the lines, say the lines, do them now. Because he was an
Including
asshole
him.
on set. Well, no, he just did his best. But
But you said, because I brought up the fact, like, this movie fucking sucks. The actors know it sucks. This guy's an asshole. And I was like, why? And then you said that it took like 7 months to film this or some shit like that. And my
like
question,
58 days
that's still a long
or something
time.
crazy.
And
Yeah.
my question was like, then why fucking do it? And apparently you've told me that Tommy Wiseau is like fucking super rich, and he paid like super
Yeah.
well for them to be in this shitty movie.
Yeah.
It's so weird to me. I
It's
guess
not even that he paid super well. He paid on time.
true.
He
yeah.
it was just they were getting regular money to
Right.
be in this movie.
Which is not, it's not how it works sometimes, to my knowledge. So that's, that explains why they stuck around for this piece of shit. It's just so weird to me. I don't know the exact amount, but it's just so weird to me how much money was put into this.
It's
into this-
estimated 5 to 6 million was spent on making The Room.
And you can't watch it anywhere.
No, I think he wants you to buy it.
That
The streaming services aren't going to take it. Theaters only do midnight showings. There are Blu-ray and DVD versions, I'm sure,
right.
but I think you buy them from the hands of Tommy Wiseau. He sells. I'm being
You
serious.
gotta meet him in the back. In the
I-
back of what?
I think you buy these from Tommy Wiseau. He sells them. But you know what I mean, like his site or
Right.
whatever.
It's just so, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, why have I never seen a Blu-ray copy of The Room at Walmart if it took $6 million to
Right.
make it?
And it's turned a profit apparently since.
Oh, I'm sure it has. Fucking everyone always talks about it and has watched it and stuff.
Guess how much it made opening weekend? I just know this info because of this isn't nobody. I'm not cool for knowing this
Right,
info.
it
It's
was in
from
the
the
Disaster
movie. Yeah,
Artist.
it's at the end of the Disaster.
Well, I'm
Artist.
assuming it was at Sundance or something, like
Nope,
an independent film festival.
Single theater.
Oh, it was in
aired
one
this
theater?
opening weekend. One theater had this playing for the first weekend.
Oh, and then after that it went to more theaters?
Yeah, then from there it became
Right.
what it is today. But opening weekend, one theater.
Oh, then it couldn't be. It's got to be less than 5,000, right?
It made $1,800 opening weekend. Cost $6 million.
That's got to be, like, percentilely speaking, that's got to be, like, the worst deficit in film history,
probably.
Because, like,
Probably.
there's been some movies, like, I just watched a video on Scott Pilgrim the other day. Scott Pilgrim cost $50 million to make and made $46 million. That's a box office flop.
Yeah.
But, like, it still made $46 million.
Yeah.
This movie
Yeah.
made 1,000 and some change.
But then it turned a profit. Like wine,
So
it
at
aged
this point,
so well.
in June
it's-
2020, Tommy Wiseau's made his money back on
Tommy
this project.
Wiseau is making money off of this project.
And we let that happen.
Yes, we as human beings allowed that.
That's what I meant, not you and me. We as human beings are responsible for this movie having success.
He-
And if there's a sequel, like, we shouldn't be surprised because we made it happen.
No, he won't because his character's dead. He won't. He will not. He's made other movies with the guy who plays Mark, who is his best friend in real life. And, they're just not going to make another Room. What was I gonna say? Shoot. I can't remember now. It was definitely Room related. Oh,
You want to talk about Danny?
I do in a minute.
Okay.
I follow Tommy Wiseau on Facebook. I like his
Oh,
page.
really?
Yeah, and
It's not him, right? It's like his estate or whatever
No.
running his Facebook.
I'm pretty sure it's Tommy Wiseau running his own Facebook.
Okay.
I don't think he'd have it any other way.
Okay.
But he's doing a promotion. You can buy. I don't know why I'm just promoting his. It was cool because you get a free plushie doggy and he wrote doggy.
Oh my god.
You get a jacket of You're Tearing Me Apart, Lisa.
Okay.
And you get a signed headshot of Tommy Wiseau. Guess how much?
Oh god. $500.
$20.
Oh, really?
USD dollars. All that. That's pretty good.
That's kind of worth. You get a jacket.
You get a jacket,
Jackets are like 60 plus
a
nowadays.
plush room doggy, and a signed headshot signed by Tommy Wiseau of Tommy Wiseau.
That's so cheap that it's just like, why not?
That I
Do it.
kind of want to get it.
Why haven't you?
It's a good question.
I want to talk about the actual movie more. I want to talk about
Sure,
Denny,
sure.
a character who, as far as I can tell, is supposed to be like a 15, 16-year-old
15-year-old kid.
He's played by like a 28-year-old,
Yeah.
and you can tell.
In the Disaster Artist, it's funny. The opening scene with Denny, like the character's first.
Yeah.
The actor's doing his first. He's like, "How old is this kid?" And Tommy Wiseau's response in the movie is like, "Your age," and he's like, "I'm 27." And he's like, "Yeah, 13, 27, your age."
Okay.
He's like, "Okay."
Once again, I understand what they were going for.
Yeah.
They were
It
going.
was a drama.
No.
it was
I'm just referring to the Denny character at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, I understand what they were going for. He like, it was supposed to be like he had no parents. He was just kind of a kid who mulled around the apartment building that I'm pretty sure every character in the film lived in.
Just about, it seems.
And because I was gonna say except Mark, but at one point she leaves to go be with Mark, and then they're
Who's
like,
upstairs?
who's up? Yeah, and then they like go downstairs to find. Anyways, and it's supposed to be like Tommy's like a father to him or whatever,
Yeah.
but like that's
To Denny.
to Danny, yeah, but like the writing doesn't do a good job to like. Because there was, like, the fucking scene where they're about to have sex, and then he comes in, and now they're tickling, but then they kick him out, and they do have sex, but he's like, can I stay? It was just really weird. Like, this is how Tommy Wiseau thinks normal
Yeah.
children act. Because that character wasn't, like, written in the script like pervy teenager. It was probably written like child figure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then fucking Hanser Magooner study, the fucking, like, boyfriend who like always had a dumb face. You remember dumb face dude
yeah,
who like
yeah.
who like was from a sitcom literally
I think
and like always looked like he was in the middle of a Scooby-Doo fart.
I think you or John made this point. By the way, John, the drummer for my band, he's watched this movie I think 5 times at this point. He loves crappy movies like this.
He could have played a whole video game.
Huh?
He could have played a whole video game in the time it took him to watch this movie 5 times. Stop watching this movie. John, if you're listening, stop watching this movie.
Did you say there's a Room video game?
No, I'm just saying that's a lot of hours
Oh,
to
yeah.
watch the same movie,
Yeah.
this movie over and over again. Like, I've seen movies more than 5 times, not this one, though.
But he made a point about this character, or you did, I can't remember.
It would be a point and click, for sure, if there was a Room video
Oh,
game.
yeah.
Anyways.
But he was like, do you think he knew this movie was gonna be bad, so he was just dicking around? Like with the facial expressions.
Oh,
and
him. Yeah, him, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I think that was me who said that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was surprised. Once I saw that guy, I was like, this guy, it sucks to look at, but he sucks to look at, but I'm surprised that every other actor isn't doing what he's doing,
Yeah.
which I'm pretty sure is just fucking around because he knows this thing is a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's one scene. It was bad and confusing even for this movie. They all get dressed up
For the wedding.
For the
pictures,
wedding
not the wedding,
pictures.
but the wedding picture.
They show the scene of them getting dressed, or it being like, hey, look, we're all in our suit. And then they're like, let's go play catch before the thing we have to go to, which I thought was the wedding.
Right.
But then in the next scene, it's like the next day and they're not in the suits. So they like went to go get the pictures off camera.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed. Or he literally just edited this movie together wrong, in the wrong order.
No, I'm going to say no to that second part just because that was probably one of the only things not left up to him.
The editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, even if you're this fucker, you got to be like, all right, I don't know how to do that. I'm going to have to get someone else to do it.
He didn't know how to do most of this stuff. Do you know this movie, supposedly, according to the Disaster Artist, was filmed in both at the same time in digital and tape?
What?
Yeah,
Why? Just in case?
because he felt like it. And I'm pretty sure they're
So which
edited
one is the-
intermingled.
Oh, my God. So the movie we watched had scenes that were digital and scenes that were film?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, my God.
And the guy in the movie, they make a big deal about this because the guys they're getting the cameras are from are like, "What? You can't do that. They're literally lit differently. You cannot." And he's like, "I'm gonna do it."
Okay. So Tommy Wiseau, right?
Yeah, you gotta watch this Disaster Artist.
No,
man.
I'm sure it's great. It's a Seth Rogen film, yeah?
James Franco, but Seth Rogen is in it.
But who did Seth Rogen like write and direct it?
I think so.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Fun fact: Disaster Artist won an award. I don't know what award it was. That's not the fact.
So far,
But-
I'm interested.
James Franco's doing the acceptance speech, and he's like, say something, Johnny. And then he cuts Johnny Wiseau off halfway
Tommy
through,
Wiseau. You said you
Oh,
switched
whoops,
and you
sorry,
started saying
sorry.
Tommy Wiseau.
because his character's name is
Yeah.
Johnny. But James Franco cuts off Tommy Wiseau like halfway through, being all happy that the movie about his movie won something, which I can see both sides too.
Yeah.
I can definitely see James Franco saying this guy's gonna be up here for the next 40 minutes.
Well, yeah. Depending on what award show it is, I'm sure James Franco's used to like, these people don't like when people talk too long.
yeah.
I want to talk about the one scene, the high doggy scene.
Yes.
That scene is fascinating. I've watched it a couple times at this point.
Have you really?
Yeah. I think that there is obviously the acting leaves something to be desired on both Tommy and the flower shop.
Yeah. She didn't do so hot. That
no,
one
because
line,
I'm pretty sure that's just the woman who runs that flower shop.
probably.
But forget about the acting for a second, or how quick that scene happens, like from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Especially in how quick it is in the dialogue. I think there is an order in which the things in that scene are said where it would make a coherent scene. Like all the pieces are there for this scene. They were just like put together in the wrong order. You know what I mean?
And poorly executed.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Forget about acting for a second.
Okay.
Just think. Just considering the order in which the lines are spoken is wrong, and I think all the lines are there. You know what I mean?
There's one. I'm with you. There's one thing I'd want to change. One single word from recognize to see. She said he takes off his glasses and she says, "Oh, hi, Johnny. I didn't recognize you."
And yeah, that's supposed to imply that with the sunglasses he was unrecognizable, as if this fucking leather man with long curly black hair
Jesus.
who frequents this flower shop isn't the most recognizable motherfucker you've ever seen.
Right. I think if it was her behind a bunch of flowers and he walks in and is waiting at the counter and she pops her head out and she's like, "Oh, hi, Johnny. I didn't see you."
Yeah.
That's the one thing I'd want to change. There's no way you didn't recognize this guy. And he takes off his glasses and then you're like, "Oh, it's Johnny."
Yeah, that's yeah. That's a perfect example of Tommy Wiseau writing a first draft and then being like, it is complete. Because like in his once again, I understand where he was coming from. In the moment, in the writing, room that he was in. Oh, I have to sneeze.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Oh jeez.
Oh god, I'm not editing this out.
Oh
I
man.
refuse.
Oh, there it is.
It happened. When he was writing it, he probably thought to himself, like, I want this. this is probably how the thought. I've written enough things at this point to know that this is probably how the thought process went. I want this woman to say, "Oh, I didn't recognize you. What can I get? What can I do in the scene to make it so that she doesn't recognize him? I've got it. Sunglasses. Sunglasses are dark. They mask your eyes. Eyes are the window to the soul. So it can be argued that she would not recognize me if I was wearing sunglasses. And all that thought process that I just said made it into a scene.
I don't think he has that much cognitive thought in him.
No, he didn't. He definitely didn't say everything I just said out loud. But that was definitely like the idea behind it was like, I want her to say this. What do I get him to do? So she says this. I've got it. And then no one, including him, was like, this is kind of dumb. You know what I mean?
Oh, just wait till you see the movie.
Is The Disaster Artist accurate? Because it is a comedy, right?
Tommy Wiseau helped with it.
Oh, did he?
I don't know how. It's based off the book that Greg, the guy who plays Mark, wrote.
Yeah,
Who's Tommy Wiseau's best friend.
I believe the book was called The Disaster Artist.
It's based off of that book. Also, Tommy Wiseau helped make it. If it's not accurate, it's nobody's fault but theirs.
Right.
And
I didn't
trust
know.
me, they don't come out looking good in this
Right.
movie. So I can only speculate to say that it's accurate.
Because I didn't know that. I didn't know that Tom Wiseau actually worked on The Disaster Artist. Because you say the
He
words.
was all up in there. I
'cause-
didn't check the credits for his name, but every commercial he was at the award ceremony.
Right.
I feel like he played a major role in this.
Because you say Disaster Artist movie about the making of The Room. It's a Seth Rogen, James Franco movie. I immediately think like, maybe there's some throwaway jokes that aren't accurate, but it sounds like they did their research and had the dude there the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't feel like a James Franco movie. It felt like a biopic.
Okay.
That's what it felt like.
Dave Franco's also in it, right?
Yeah, he plays Greg.
Oh, okay,
Mark.
cool.
And they
Ugh.
do at the end. They do, like, the credits are rolling and they're comparing the room to their scenes of the room. And it's,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it's really
that
cool.
sounds cool. Is Disaster Artist on Netflix? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
dude, we could.
cool.
I'd watch it tonight with you.
Well, you gotta.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see. But no, I'm definitely down to watch that. If me here's where my head is at with this. Right. I watched The Room. I had a terrible time. It was a terrible film. I have so much to say about it. What happened? Oh, Robot Lady was
Yeah.
awake. Robot Lady whose name won't be spoken,
Yes.
but starts with A and ends with A. No, I had a horrible time watching it, as made evident by the fact that I literally kicked you out of my house. And I have a lot to say about it, and I never want to see it again, and I didn't even want to see it the first time. But if all that means that I get to watch The Disaster Artist, and The Disaster Artist is a good film, I'm gonna have a fun time watching it, then maybe it was all worth it. But
We'll see. The only thing you can hope for with The Room is to break even, right?
yeah. Except no, because the movie definitely made, as you said, is making money.
Well,
so.
no, unless you're Tommy Wiseau. I mean,
Unless
as
you're
a
Tommy Wiseau, your best option is to break even emotionally.
that's the other thing too is, assuming this guy is super rich, which he has to be. Why even go the acting route? You got tons of money to have fun, sure, but like he wanted to make it.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Like
No, there's some people, and I can't think of any, off the top of my head. Tommy Wiseau is unfortunately the perfect example, because that's who we're talking about. But there's just some people who are like, I have all this money. Am I going to invest it or start a business or some shit? No, I'm gonna start this one thing I'm passionate about, like filmmaking or ice skating or video game development, but I'm really shitty at the one thing I want to do with my money, but I have money, so no one can stop me from doing the shitty thing.
that's literally the movie that we're gonna watch.
Yeah.
About the
No,
Room.
I'm sure it is. There's a couple people like that,
I mean,
if
if you're an artist, I get it. Like if I was rich, I'd still play music. Simple as that.
Oh, yeah.
If
yeah.
we were rich, we'd still do this channel. We love doing it. But he was bad at it. The world told him he was bad at it. And he had all this money. I don't know. I feel like maybe if I was unsuccessful in what I was doing in my recreational time, maybe something else.
See,
something
this
else.
is where
anything.
the conversation becomes how what's how prideful Tommy Wiseau is versus people like you and me? Because if I had a vision and I was like, I want this to be a movie, but all the things that I want to do for this movie, writing, directing, acting, all that stuff, producing, I'm really, really bad at it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my money and my vision, and I'm going to go to someone or a team of someone's, and I'm going to have them help me make this movie by any means necessary, because it's my vision and I want people to see it, and I think it's a good vision, and I'm going to get people to tell me if it is and to make my thing for me. And Tommy Wiseau said, nah, fuck that. That's what pussies do. I do it myself.
Was that your Tommy Wiseau?
It was my on-the-spot Tommy Wiseau. I'm sure I could come up with a better one.
Dude, that's the other thing too. By the way, you're right. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
You said
Well,
all-
yeah.
But James Franco did such a good Tommy Wiseau. It's not even funny.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
He does
Good.
them a little too good. Like
Oh.
because I showed my dad a voice. Like I showed him Tommy Wiseau's actual voice while we were watching the movie, and then he heard James Franco, and he was like, he's doing it a little cartoony, and I was like, yeah, he's definitely overemphasizing it a little bit.
Yeah. I get that. I've seen other James Franco things. Have you ever visited that website of like the list of things that James Franco did in between Spider-Man 3 and 127 hours?
No.
He went like he just like invented a bunch of things and like got a bunch of degrees and doctorates and stuff. It's crazy.
Jeez.
He's like a genius. But he makes comedy films, which is, neither here nor there. Hey, so Roger Ebert, he never
Yeah.
saw The Room.
No.
For one reason or another, he does not have a review of The Room. I tried to look up an equally as shitty movie that he might have reviewed. Okay, so I don't know what the last thing you heard was, but welcome to Roger Ebert's Critic Corner.
Gotta do the song.
It's a, I mean, I wrote it, so it's my fault, right?
Said Tommy Wiseau.
It fits. People, all right.
Do the song.
Here it comes. Do. He wrote a review, and then he wrote some more, and he wrote too many Roger Ebert reviews. Welcome to Roger Ebert's Critic Corner, a podcast with a podcast. I'm your host, Anthony. Joining me today, a very special guest, Lightning from the Thunder and Lightning YouTube channel. Go subscribe to them. Sadly, Roger Ebert has not watched The Room or Birdemic or Howard the Duck or any of the other things I tried to look for. He has also not seen Superman 4 Quest for Peace, but he has seen Superman Returns.
Okay.
That is what I looked up. The title of this review, because I found out how to look at the titles of these reviews, is called Atlas Yawned. Who knows what that means? Chris, have you seen Superman Returns?
I'm pretty
starring
sure
Brendan
that's-
Ruth. The eyeball one. The shoot the eyeball one.
Well, that's the one where his dad gets taken up in the twister on the highway. to
No,
save the dog.
that's Man of Steel.
Mm.
Superman Returns was from 2006. It was about Lois Lane and the who had a son with Superman. Spoiler alert. And the Lex Luthor was played by Kevin Spacey, and Superman was played by Brandon Ruth. It's the famous.
No, I know
shoot
the
you
scene.
in the eye
I know
scene.
the scene. I actually don't think I've seen that one.
That's fine. It's not. The thing about Superman Returns is my 2 cents, not Roger Ebert's. It's not bad. It's just boring. It's like the 2013 Hulk movie. It's just fucking boring.
Mm.
Just don't waste my time. There's other Superman shit I could be watching. But that being said, how many stars do you think Roger Ebert gave this movie? Just as a
4.
reminder, Roger Ebert rates movies out of 4 stars.
4.
He gave it a 2.
That could be,
Right
just for the
down
people
the-
at home, between 50 and 75%.
Yes. As I was just about to say, right down the middle. So anywhere between 50 and 75%. Here's the review. It's no fun being Superman. Your life is a lie. There's nobody you can confide in. You're in love but can't express it, and you're on call 24 hours a day. But it can be fun being in a Superman movie. The original Superman from 1978 was an exuberance of action and humor because Christopher Reeve could play the character straight and let us know he was kidding. Superman 2 from 1980 was just about as good, but Superman 3 from 1983 was a disappointment. Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, with Reeve, bombed in 1987, and then the series went quiet for 19 years. Now the Man of Steel is back in Sorry, I did not know Bryan Singer made Superman Returns. That is news to me. Now the Man of Steel is back in Bryan Singer's Superman Returns, which, like its hero, spends a lot of time dead in the water.
Oh.
This is a glum, lackluster movie in which even the big effects sequences seem dutiful? D-U-T-I-F-U-L.
Dutiful.
What does that mean?
Full of duty.
Okay, good. Even the big effects sequences seems dutiful instead of exhilarating. The newsroom of the Daily Planet, filled with eccentricity and life in the earlier movies, now seems populated by corporate drones. Jimmy Olsen, the copy boy, such a brass kid, seems tamed and clueless. That was one sentence. Sorry, I can't get over this. Jimmy Olsen, comma, the copy boy, comma, such a brash kid, comma, seems tamed and clueless, period. Lois Lane, played by Kate Bosworth, has lost her dash and pizzazz, and her fiancé, Richard White, played by James Marsden, forgot about that, regards her like a deer caught in the headlights.
But
Even the
has she lost her flash?
her what?
Her flash, or have they not made a movie about him yet?
The Flash?
She lost her pizzazz, her dash, but has she lost her flash?
I don't think they're making a Flash movie, but I don't think they.
This is like 15 years after this movie came out.
Yeah.
Just put
Well,
that
there was
into
a-
context.
There was a Flash movie back in the day, and actually the guy who this is your fault. The guy who they got to play the Flash in the old Flash movie came back and played the Flash's dad on the new Flash TV show that I watch.
Oh, okay.
And actually there was two. There was the dad, and then there was the Flash from a different Earth. That Flash is canonically the same Flash as the one back in the movie. They actually showed a clip from that movie in Crisis on Infinite Earths because that character was dying and he had like a flashback.
Oh.
It's very cool. Everyone should watch Crisis on Infinite Earths. Too bad you can't all in one spot because Batwoman's not on Netflix, so get fucked. But even the editor, Perry White, portrayed by Frank Langella, comes across like a curmudgeon, less like a curmudgeon and more like an efficient manager. One problem is with the casting. Brandon Routh lacks charisma as Superman, and I suppose, as Clark Kent, he isn't supposed to have any. Ruth, or Ralph, I've never quite been sure how to pronounce this fucker's name, may have been cast because he looks a little... Brandon Routh is the guy who played the vegan in Scott Pilgrim.
Okay.
Todd Ingram, I think his name was. Ralph may have been cast because he looks a little like Reeve, but there are times when he looks more like an action figure, were effects used to make him seem built from synthetics? We remember chemistry between Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder, who played Lois Lane in the original Superman movie, and then observe how the counterparts are tongue-tied in this one. If they had a real romance, and they did, has it left them with nothing more than wistful looks and awkward small talk? It's strange how little dialogue the title character has in the movie. Clark Kent is monosyllabic, and Superman is microsyllabic, which I'm sure you've been able to piece together, but is Roger Ebert's way of saying that Superman don't talk much in this flick.
Mm-hmm.
We learned Superman was away for 5 years on a mission to return to his home planet Krypton. In the meantime, this is the plot. I found the plot. Goes over Lex Luthor's plan. Superman is vulnerable. Nope, that's still plot. Talking about the kid. Okay, this is the last paragraph. There is, I suppose, a certain bottom line of competence in Superman Returns, and superhero fans will want to see the movie for just its effects. The plot outrages... Oh, sorry, got an ad. Its plot outrages, and its moments... Oh, what? There is, I suppose, a certain bottom line of competence in Superman Returns, and superhero fans will want to see the movie just for its effects, comma, its plot outrages, and its moments of humor. Okay, but when the hero, his alter ego, his girlfriend, and the villain all seem to lack any joy in being themselves, why should we feel joy at watching them?
Why feel joy in any movie,
Why feel
Anthony?
joy at all, really? Unless it's fucking Raging Bull or whatever the fuck I grew up with, because I'm Roger Ebert, and I hated Rugrats. So I want to hear your analysis. Obviously, I did skip 5 paragraphs of plot.
Yeah.
But I will note that, and I could have seen this coming, he immediately compares it to the films before it, which I
Mhm.
feel like in this case is a little bit more fair,
Yeah.
because that's what we all did.
Right. Well, that's kind of what you do with every superhero movie.
Yeah. Especially if it's about the same character.
Because for a long time, until Marvel came around, it was kind of a pretty set in stone genre where you know what you're gonna get, you're gonna enjoy what you're gonna get,
Yeah.
and that genre could have tanked.
It
if
could have,
Marvel
yeah.
had not
If
come
y-
along.
You know what? It's fascinating to me that Iron Man 1 and The Dark Knight came out pretty much around the same time, because like The Dark Knight is an exceptional movie. So is Iron Man 1. They're both exceptional films. But I feel like The Dark Knight is a glimpse into a future of superhero movies that just totally would have tanked. Whereas obviously Iron Man is the example of like, here's how superhero movies are, like, cut to now, superhero movies are thriving, and it's not because of Dark Knight, it's because of Iron Man. But Dark Knight's like, I'm not saying Dark Knight's bad, it's still an incredible film. I just feel like if we kept going through that, they would have bottomed out eventually.
Well, I feel like Dark Knight got a few things right in the sense that it's brought a sense of realism. Like, you look at which Iron Man also did.
Right.
I feel like they were in the right direction.
Especially, sorry if I can cut you off for a sec, it
Yeah.
makes a lot more sense with those two superheroes in particular, because neither of them have superpowers.
Right. If you look at the 90s Batman, I mean, they're essentially just comic books brought back to the real world.
Yeah. Or at least that was the intention.
Right, in the Superman movies and so on and so forth. That's the thing with Superman. I feel like you almost can't have a sense of realism with him. But that's I can put it in a video essay. But because I've never liked a Superman movie.
Ever, even the originals?
Nope. No live action Superman movie have I ever walked away from being happy about. 'Cause I run into the issue I feel like we all run into, which is I know how this is going to end.
Well, I think part of the issue, I understand where you're coming from. It's the Yu-Gi-Oh thing again. Superman. Oh, it's a Superman movie. He's gonna win.
Yeah.
And then the one time he didn't win was Batman versus Superman, and that movie was horseshit. And I wouldn't wish that movie on my worst enemies. But there's also the fact of like, no one watching can relate to Superman.
Right.
He's an indestructible, unkillable, unaging alien. And like we've said before, that can be interesting, but as far as film goes,
Right.
it really hasn't been yet.
Well, you know what? Another thought. I'm actually diverging from Superman for a second.
Yeah,
here.
sure,
Sorry,
go
I
for
just
it.
had this thought. I don't know if the future of the Dark Knight would have failed. I think it
No,
would
I
have
didn't
been.
say fail. I think it would have bottomed out. I think it would have like stalemated.
Well, that could be, but I feel like it could have been a good counter to the MCU that the DCU could have taken, but I feel like they just didn't. I feel like
Instead, every time they make a DC movie that feels like a DC movie, everyone kind of dislikes it, and then they're like, maybe let's sort of make a Marvel movie, and then people like Shazam or the Harley Quinn movie, and people really liked those ones.
But I'm saying there's even another alternative where it's the Dark Knight. Make it make super realism. Like, this could actually be happening. And I know that's easier said than done because some of the heroes in DC just have powers and you have to deal with it. They just didn't take advantage. I feel like that'd be interesting, and I feel like if they went the Dark Knight route, we could have at least had some competition with the MCU.
Yeah.
Where it's just make miraculous movies, make them realistic, and not. I feel like I don't know. I don't watch DC movies nowadays, but I feel like they every time I see a commercial or something, I'm like, that's like a Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. It's just very cartoony. It's just very. I don't buy this for a second.
No, I feel that. Have you ever seen Chronicle?
No.
I think you'd really like Chronicle. Chronicle is Max Landis film, and it stars Michael B. Jordan
Okay.
and Dane DeHaan, if you know who that is, and one other dude who, as far as I can tell, is kind of a nobody. And they basically, two of the characters are kind of popular, and their friend's like kind of a shut-in, kind of a nerdy dude, and they're at a party once, and they like fall in this hole, and they find like a thing that they fuck with, and it gives them superpowers. But they all have the same superpower, and that is telekinesis.
Okay.
Or the one where you can grab like the Force. They have the Force from Star Wars.
Okay.
Basically, and at its base level. But it's a found footage film. The whole film takes place
Oh,
from
I think I saw commercials
from the
for this.
perspective of the shut-in kid who is holding a video camera the whole time. It's very good. I think it's what you're looking for
Okay.
in a superhero film. And if I may, since we're talking about superheroes now, can I use this as an opportunity to talk about the Fantastic Four movie briefly?
Sure.
Because I just watched it, and hot damn. So the Fantastic Four movie was basically supposed to be a Chronicle-like. It was supposed to give you the same like feeling of realism and stuff like that. But what happened was this dude, I forget his name, I apologize. He made a movie. The movie's done. He sent it to who owned Fantastic Four? Fox, I think.
Yeah.
He sent it to Fox, and Fox was like, the whole entire second half of this movie, it sucks, and we hate it.
Mhm.
Make it more like a superhero movie. So he had to call all the actors back and basically redo an entire half of a movie. And the incredibly interesting part is that you, the viewer, know exactly every single scene that's a reshoot because Kate Mara is wearing a wig. And it's obvious that she's wearing a wig. So if you look at Kate Mara's hairline, you can tell, okay, this scene is a reshoot. And based on that information, you can tell the movie it was supposed to be, right? And it's fascinating. The first half of that movie, I was enthralled. I was like, this is amazing. I love this. And then there's a point in the movie where it says 1 year later, and then superhero shit starts happening, and the rest of the movie is bullshit.
Really?
Yeah, it basically, how much do you know about the Fantastic Four? You know their powers and their villain?
Yeah.
Cool. That's all you need to know. So the Mr. Fantastic is at like he's a high schooler, I think, and he's like about to be in college, so he's like at a science fair, and he's basically like he made a teleporter. He made a matter teleporter. And two people from this college are like, you made a matter teleporter. We're making a matter teleporter. We can't figure out how to bring it back. We want you to help do that. Because we've been able to send shit. We don't know where we're sending it. Long story short, all four of the Fantastic Four people start working on this project together, but also Dr. Doom. And then they find out that they're not teleporting things to a different part of the Earth. They're teleporting things to a different dimension. So basically, long story short, the Fantastic Four origin story happens. They go to this other dimension. It fucks with them. They all get superpowers. Dr. Doom gets trapped there. They think he's dead, right? And then the coolest scene ever happens, where Ben, the character who becomes the Thing, and Reed, the character who becomes Mr. Fantastic, they were best friends. And the Thing comes back to our place, to Earth, and the whole lab is destroyed, and there's no lights and everything. And Mr. Fantastic's feet are stuck under a thing, and he's trying to get his feet like unstuck. But also Ben is calling to him because Ben is really hurt because he's under a pile of rocks. So Reed starts crawling to Ben, trying to find him, and he can't find him. Turns out he's not under the pile of rocks; he is the pile of rocks. Also, he was crawling forward the whole time. His feet are still stuck under the thing.
That's what
and his legs are stretching.
Yeah.
And then he sees his legs stretch and he faints. And then when he wakes up, all his friends have all the powers that they're supposed to have. But they're like being contained and tested on and stuff. And he ends up escaping. And then the year later thing happens. And you find out that they're all superheroes now. And they do superhero stuff. And they eventually go back to the other place and have this big superhero fight with Dr. Doom, and it looks shitty because it was rushed because the whole second half of the movie they had to redo.
Yeah.
And people, ever since the Snyder cut got confirmed or whatever the fuck, people are like, what about your cut of your movie? And he was like, basically, it doesn't exist because it didn't get to the, just like the Sonic, how there's no version of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie with the other Hedgehog, the other version of Sonic. The special effects weren't, there's no version of this movie with special effects, the other version, so it'll never show up. But I just like, this is the most baffling viewing experience I've ever had watching a film, because I was like so utterly like in it at the beginning for the first half. I was like, this is great. I'm really liking this. And then just like all of a sudden it was like, oh damn.
Would you say it's more baffling than The Room by Tommy Wiseau?
Yeah, only because The Room by thank you for bringing it back to the title of the podcast. Because The Room is, you can see the intention and you can see what went wrong and you can see what we got, the product we got, right?
Yeah.
But this, clearly someone had a vision. Because Tommy Wiseau, that's just exactly what I was talking about. Tommy Wiseau had nobody telling him no. He made this movie his way, and he made it the way he wanted to, I guess. And what we got is what we got. But the Fantastic Four, Fan Four Stick, if you will, because that's how it's written, is a butchered film that is held together by tape, and you can see the tape.
Yeah.
And it's so, and like because of that, there will never be a sequel, you know,
Right.
and
Well, I mean, now that it's in Disney's realm, I think we're going to see a whole new Fantastic Four and a whole
definitely.
new X-Men.
Do you want to know what's funny? This was years ago, but the guy who played Dr. Doom in the Fan Four Stick,
Yeah.
he said in an interview, this is a direct quote, I remember it. He said, Dr. Doom is the greatest superhero villain of all time, and I'm honored to be playing him. I saw another interview afterwards where he was like, he was basically like, that version of Dr. Doom is not Dr. Doom. It's not, you know, I'm sorry I couldn't deliver a good Dr. Doom. Sorry it had to be that one. I'll never play Dr. Doom again unless the MCU wants me to play Dr. Doom.
Oh, wow.
So maybe he will, but who knows?
That'd be interesting.
People seem to think there's a lot of people online who are like convinced that John Krasinski is going to be Reed Richards. Why is that? He hasn't said anything about it. People just assume that him and Emily Blunt are going to be Reed Richards and the Invisible Woman.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
I haven't seen any evidence as to like there's rumors about like people just want it, I think, and they're like trying to will it into existence.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time. And it wouldn't be the first time it worked, where people are just like, do this.
Oh, I know.
And
Yeah.
Hollywood's like, that's so weird how that's a new thing. Just the audience says, do this, and Hollywood's like, okay.
Yeah, it's it's strange times we're living in. The other thing is about the movie, and this is the last thing I'll say about the Fantastic Four, about Fan Four Stick. The Human Torch and Sue Storm, Invisible Woman, and I guess I said a superhero name last time. They're brother and sister, right?
Yeah.
In this film, the dad is black, the Human Torch is black, but the Invisible Woman is white, and you find out while watching the film that she was adopted, which is fine, whatever. But I read in another interview that she was also supposed to be black. He tried to recast the whole Storm family as being black, but Fox, for whatever reason, didn't want the Invisible Woman to be a black woman. They were like, no, cast her as a white woman and butcher your movie more to make it so that that
to
she
fit
was
what we want.
yeah, you have to write in a scene now where she talks about how she was adopted, but just do the movie we want to.
Jeez.
This movie was the point I'm trying to make is this movie was supposed to be way better,
Yeah.
and it was supposed to be like Chronicle, and we'll never see it. And the version we got is not only super shitty and weird and awkward to watch, but it's on Disney Plus, so you can watch it whenever you want.
Excellent.
And that's our show. Thank you for listening to Cinematic Relief. We're gonna go eat spaghetti, I think. And that's neither here nor there. I've been Thunder.
I'm Lightning.
You've been listening to the Thunder and Lightning. Stay safe, stay clean, and we'll see you next time.